Hey guys, doing? It's Dell from Any Review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Carpuride Double Den Head Unit. Let's get to the product review. Yeah, hey guys, doing? Dell from Any Review. Today I'm going to be reviewing, like I said before, the Carpuride Double Den Head Unit. A lot of people may be familiar with them because they do make head units, or they call them head units, but all they are just tablets that you can mount to the window in your car. This is the what you would use to mount to your car, and you put this on the window, and that's it. But I'm not talking about that. I was on Amazon the other week, and I actually saw that they have an actual hit unit. It's a double den, and I was like, wow, I really would like to get that because I've been using this for a while. This isn't the Carpuride Android Auto tablet thing that you put in your window. I do have one inside of another vehicle that I've had about 2-3 years now, and every time we go on trips, out of the state, or we go on any kind of vacation, we use it. But I did want something that was more like inside the car that actually was an actual radio with the car, kind of make the car feel more modern. Me and my wife, we have older cars, and so one of the drawbacks of having older cars is that you don't actually have like modern features inside of them, and so that's kind of the thing that we had for a while, was that with their version of it, of the tablet. This is actually a cheap one that we got off Temu, but again, they're all the same. I'll plug it up for you shortly to let you see. I kind of wanted to give up my review of it. When I first saw it, I was like, wow, this is probably too good to be true. And so, I installed it inside my van the other day. I've used it now for a couple nights. Haven't had any issues with it. Never once has it disconnected from the Android Auto. I actually put a USB hard drive in there as well. That also played the videos that I had on my USB drive. I'll show you all shortly. I'll take you inside my van, and I'll show you the Carpuride head unit. I will say it's a big upgrade from what I came from. Before that, I just had a double den head unit that had Bluetooth, and it would, you can make phone calls from your phone, or whatever streaming app you were playing from, but it couldn't actually connect to the Apple CarPlay because it's just an older head unit. I probably had the head unit for about 6-7 years now, and again, it's an older head unit. So when I saw that Carpuride had a head unit on Amazon, I was really excited. I went and got it. It was $99. I think top is, it's like, if it's not, if the sale's not going on, it's 109. But that's still for a head unit that's going to give you Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless, and you can still access the radio. Let's say you can play videos if you have a USB drive. Takes you, you can play. It shows you if you use Google Maps or Waves, Apple Maps. It has all that on your car display. The one that I purchased is a 9-inch display. They do have a 10.1-inch display, and they also have a 10.3. So the 9-inch display and the 10.1-inch display are regular tablet sizes. The 10.3-inch display is more longer, kind of like a rearview mirror. If I had to kind of say what it is, it's more long, like a rearview mirror. And I didn't really want to go with that. I ordered the 9-inch. I was kind of wondering if I was going to regret it, and I didn't regret it. I'm actually glad that I went with the 9-inch and not the 10.1-inch, because I would have been like, man, this is too big. I think the 9-inch is too much screen real estate in my vehicle. So the 10 would have been like, oh my God, that's too much. Glad I went with my gut and went with the 9-inch display and not the 10. Now, also too, I do want to say that the reason why I chose this head unit, because I'm familiar with Carpuride. They're actually one of the first companies that I came across that started making the Android Auto CarPlay tablets for people who have older vehicles. Like if you have an older vehicle and you don't have modern radio in your car, these are actually great, because if you don't have Bluetooth in your car, it connects via FM transmitter. You just turn to a blank FM station on your radio, and from there you would also set this on that same station. It would go there, boom, like that, and now you have Google Maps. It has Google Maps on one side, the other side, whatever streaming platform you listen to. I pay for Amazon Music, so Amazon Music on one side, and then that's pretty much what it does. I don't want to go too much into this because this is not what I'm reviewing. I'm reviewing their head unit. So again, I went with their head unit because I'm familiar with the brand. I know that people years ago, about 2-3 years ago, that was really the only brand that I saw online, and they were expensive. I know they are a well-known brand, so I went with that head unit because I'm familiar with the name, and I know that they make good products as it relates to the Android Auto and CarPlay. So that's the reason why I went with a Carpuride. They do have other ones, other brands, and just show real quick. The model is Carpuride YT09S double din car stereo with wireless Apple Play and Android Auto. And it's, like I said before, a 9-inch display. Now, it says GPS navigation, Bluetooth. It also does come with a rear camera. I didn't use the rear camera. I'm good. I'm old school. I've been backing up for years. I don't need a camera to do that now, especially not in a smaller vehicle. The GPS navigation I kind of want to talk about is that it's not actually a GPS navigation as it relates to like its own brand of GPS. It uses your phone. So whatever GPS you use on your phone, I use Google Maps. In the past, I've also used Waves. Don't really like Waves too much, so I primarily use Google Maps. If you use Apple Maps, that's what GPS will be on your screen, just so you know. So let's go to my vehicle and let me show you the Carpuride double din stereo, and we'll kind of go over a lot of the features with you and kind of let you see what it is, and you can kind of decide whether or not if this is a good option for you or not. So right here, we're inside my 2006 Toyota Sienna, and you can see right here that I do have the stereo in here. But right now, you can see this is the Carpuride double din deck, and you can see right here, it's actually right here. See, I have my thumb drive. See, I have my thumb drive, and I have a external microphone. It doesn't come with an external microphone or cable and mic, but it does have one in the actual built into the actual head unit. So I've seen reviews online that was saying that if you don't actually have external microphone, that shouldn't be an issue. But so right here, it has the different settings. I'm sorry, the settings. This is actually the EQ, and just make a note. The first two on your left, because if you're watching this video, it might be reversed. But the first two on your left is actually the bass. These two are the bass. So if I turn these two all the way down, it's actually gonna bring the bass down, and that's important to know if you're somebody that's using this and you have a subwoofer, because while they do have a RCA port on the back to receive RCA from a subwoofer, the actual head unit itself does not have any kind of like support to like control your subwoofer besides, you know, these two frequencies on the EQ, and you have to actually know, and those who are, you know, who install subs or play with subwoofers, the lows are usually always on the left-hand side. As you go up, it's the highs, and the lows actually are the ones that control the bass. Even if I had my subwoofers blazing right now and they were kind of bumping, I would just turn these down, and boom, now the subwoofers probably wouldn't be loud or as loud. And I do have a subwoofer knob in vehicle as well, right here. So it's not really an issue for me, more so for somebody else. But I will say that I don't really use my subwoofers that much anyways. I think I mean, I've gone through the whole winter and then maybe use them once, and even then when I do use them, they're usually like very, very low. If it's a warm day and I have my windows down, I just want to listen to some music, I'll do that. But for the most part, you know, I don't really use my subwoofer that much anyways. Go back to the home page. Now I will say the only thing about this deck that I don't like is the actual volume control. The volume control on it is like right here. You have to actually do this or do that, which is not really an issue, but it's an issue when you're kind of driving in traffic and you don't actually, I wish they would have had a knob right here. It would just for the volume. I think that would have been a lot better than having a thing. And even when you're in Android Auto mode, like you can't even really control. It's more difficult because you have to actually hit the power button and the volume pops. I'll show you in a moment, but you got to do all that when you're using that. So right here, it does have, you can make phone calls. It'll tell you that you actually can't make phone calls. And the same thing with Bluetooth music, it'll actually tell you that you can't, but you actually can. You have to just do it from the actual Android Auto mode or you can just do it from your actual phone and make phone calls, and then it'll make a phone call. But I thought that was really weird too. I'm like, well, I mean, it's if you don't actually play with the deck to know that, it'll be frustrating. But it's nothing that you can't figure out. I gotta cut that off because YouTube will give me a strike. I'll probably mute that audio. But yeah, you can also play videos. Like I said, I have a thumb drive in there. I've had it for, geez, probably the life of my van. So back in the day, I used to drive to work listening to music videos. But that's the thing. You can play movies. You can put movies up there. You can also play music videos, as you can see. You can also, if you want to like watch movies or whatever, you can. You basically, for those who don't know, if you plan on installing this yourself, you have to ground the breaking wire. I've always grounded the breaking wire to the ground wire, and that basically tells the head unit that you're always parked, even when you're not always parked. So that's just something that I've always done in all my stereos that I've had over the years. Go back to the home. It does have radio, but I don't use the radio, so it doesn't matter. It's annoying. Um, it does have settings right here. The different settings. They're very basic. Nothing that, they got Wi-Fi, phone link, Bluetooth, who your parents using like that, and different things for the parking, the rear camera, the front camera if you had one. If I had a rear camera, and then now back to where everybody wants to know. Now I will tell you, like, if you get this and you click on different buttons, this is for the CarPlay. I don't have CarPlay, but for the sake of the video, let's click on it. I don't have CarPlay, so I can't do anything. Well, this one is wired. This one is actually the wireless. Same right here. I don't have CarPlay, so it's not gonna do anything. But right here, this is the wired for the Android. I don't have a USB. To use. Now I will say, to use the actual mirror link or the auto link, which will mirror a movie from your phone, you would have to use a wire. I don't know why that is. I think because they don't want you playing movies while you're driving, but that's always been the case in most vehicles that I've came across. If I'm wrong in the comments, somebody please let me know. But in most vehicles that I've came across that have Android Auto wireless, you still have to use a USB cable if you want to use like kind of mirror things from your phone. I don't know why that is. Somebody probably know a way out there that can get past it. But again, I don't typically watch movies on my phone like that, so that's something I really care about. Again, I believe I said it earlier. I don't remember, but again, these kind of head units are considered floating head units, and mainly, you can kind of see why, because it's comes out a bit ways away from the actual head unit, as you can see. So, but the actual tablet part sticks out. So, just kind of give you a heads up. And right here we have the Android Auto. Why everybody came. Android Auto. And this right here is what I was saying before. You can make phone calls from the Android Auto right here. Want to call some people, Google Maps, music. This is the other app I have on my phone. I have music on my phone. I have said before, I'm old school. I still got music on my phone. I still got music that I had on like many different phones many moons ago. So I just put them on a drive, put them in a folder, and put them in my phone. So I do have like a third party music app on my phone when I want to just play music on my phone. Also too, if you ever want in the spots where you don't have GPS or where your signal drops, then you can't. Then I've been driving sometimes, and I may run through a spot where I don't have a signal, and I stream my music from Amazon Music, and the music just freezes or start to buffer. So yeah, if I have music on my actual phone, I can just play music from my actual phone. So yeah, those who are still young, back in the day, you know, 5, 10 years ago, you could just play music from your actual phone. Or I used to have a head unit that I could put a I had an iPod. I would just play music from my iPod. But yeah, that's basically what it is. And you can make phone calls outside of Android Auto. You can use your actual phone. You can do that. That's something, that's always a choice. You can always make phone calls. You don't have to be in Android Auto or CarPlay to make a phone call. If you pick up your phone right now and I made a phone call, you could be able to hear whoever's on the other line. I don't know why that they do a job at kind of, letting you know that you can still do that. You just can't do it from the option of the radio. So if that's a big deal for you, or you don't like that, then I wouldn't get this. I wouldn't get this. But again, it's $99 on Amazon. If you want to feel like you're spending some big bucks and you want to get it from the actual website, Carpuride, they have it for $259.99. So you can go on there if you want to spend some real money. But if you want to get it at a discount, like myself, you can go on Amazon and get it. I will leave the link in the description. It will be an affiliate link. So if this is something that you're interested in, click on it. Again, it didn't take me a long time to put it in. It took me about an hour to put it in. And that was more so because I had to take out my old unit and disconnect that. And I have subwoofers, and I had kind of just trying to figure out, what I was doing back there. And I also have a tweeter hooked up back there as well. So I had to figure that out. So that's why it took me so long. But if I was putting this in my wife's car, or my wife's SUV that doesn't have a subwoofer, it would have taken me like half an hour. Boom, boom. I would have been done. So that's kind of why it took me so long. I have a subwoofer hooked up to it. That does take time. So definitely any reviews. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope and beneficial to you. Please like and subscribe. And if this is something that you want, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you have any additional questions about this.